when come to like after 10, it's kind of difficult to download. Okay, so recording is started. Let's just share the screen and we can start the class. Right. Can you see my screen? All of you?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Okay. So chapter 7 is about personal characteristic and sales aptitude. These are the things that we are going to look at. Just so simple, not much of the content. First one, the determinant of successful sales performance. Second one, characteristic of successful salesperson. And last one is job specific determinant of good sales performance. So, about the first one, these are the determinant of successful sales performance, meaning that when a salesperson have their own territory being given, also the quota they need to fulfill, uh, meaning they successfully achieving their quota and successfully achieve the goal of the department and as well as the company or as the business. So these are few things that the based on research that have been highlight why people are success, why salesperson are success. First one, stable. Every salesperson must feel that they are stable. If they have a stable life, they have a stable income, it's very it make people more at ease. Everybody will feel safe when they are stable. If every salesperson or any salesperson don't feel like their life is stable, normally it's very difficult for them to perform the job. Second one is self-sufficient. Self-sufficient meaning to say that not all the time salesperson will achieve their goal or their target. Sometimes it can be scattered throughout the year because most of the time sale performance will be measured based on yearly basis. So the performance will be calculated based on 1 year activity, even though probably you will have like progress report review quarterly, but it also about checking it for the whole entire year. So self-sufficient meaning to say that every salesperson think that they must think that whatever they receive or whatever they are doing actually is what they are giving the best. Okay. If some salesperson kind of greedy and feeling like they wanted it more, sometimes it is not good to want it more is okay. But to want it more up to the point where you no longer looking for legal issues, ethical issues, it is not right. Self-sufficient meaning to say that every salesperson must know that up to which point they should push themselves in order to get the sale. This part normally, that's why in our chapter 12, we are learning about ethic. We are learning about what can be done or what cannot be done as a salesperson. So this is what we call as self-sufficient, self-confident. Every salesperson must be able to feel confident when they are bringing themselves and they are bringing the product they are selling or the services they are offering. Simply because if they do not have the knowledge, for example, about certain product, most of the time it's very difficult to feel confident. Okay, even though there are some of salesperson you feel like yes, even though they do not know so much, but still they are feeling confident. But majority of salesperson must have a very good knowledge in order for them to feel confident. Goal directed. Goal directed meaning to say that every salesperson normally they will already set the target. Okay, this is what they want to achieve and how to achieve it. Goal directed meaning to say that majority of salesperson able to plan it in advance on the direction or what need to be done. Okay, and then we have what we call decisive, having or showing the ability to make decision quickly and effectively. These normally come with experience and knowledge. Sometimes if you have only knowledge, it is insufficient for you to make a good decision. But combining the knowledge and the experience, actually it provide better decision in a way that whenever someone wanted to make a decision, they as if taking more consideration before deciding on making any move. And then intellectually curiosity also important, meaning to say that most of salesperson, sometimes people would say that, okay, majority of salesperson actually just do the talking without knowing what they are saying. But actually it is not right. A good salesperson are a person that full of curiosity, in a way that they, whenever they know something, they need to know more. In order for salesperson to sell better, they must know the do and the don't, the need and the don't need. Not everything that okay, even though we wanted to sell the product, it doesn't mean that we will push people to buy, because if the demand or the requirement or the need of the product or services is not really there, by right you are not supposed to push it just for you to get sale. It is not right. Okay, as a salesperson, based on my own experience, I will only advise customer based on what they need. I will not like giving over you know, over promise solution, or over what they call it, over requirement. That is not ethical. Accurate, accurate in a way that every salesperson should be what you call alert of what going on around them. If they are alert and they have a good knowledge, and also they have a good experience, the decision actually is more accurate than without knowledge and experience. Accurate not only about the decision they made, but it also about monitoring the task or the activity that need to be conducted in order to secure the sale. So there are so many things when we are talking about accuracy. It can be discussed in many ways. Okay, this is a review of PAR research. So even though this textbook is about sales workforce, but we can see this textbook actually is more inclined to sales. The research. Okay, the finding or the presentation based on research. So these are the variables that affecting performance. First one is aptitude. Aptitude is native ability and enduring personal trait relevant to performance or job activity. So when we are talking about aptitude, it is about uh, what trait. Trait meaning that what we call it, trait bahasa Melayu apa dia? Ada siapa-siapa boleh tolong saya bahasa Melayu trait apa dia? Cari jap. Tak jumpa dah perkataan tu. Siapa boleh tolong cari? Ni kita tengok jap macam mana nak bagi tahu trade ni. Aduh. Trade is something you wanted to start no? Start nah, saya cari bahasa Melayu.
Sifat.
Sifat.
Sifat. Yes, attribute. Kalau dalam orang kata apa, benda, we refer it as attribute. As attribute, sifat, personality trait. Okay, thank you. And also mental abilities. Mental abilities and personality trait actually are two things. When we are discussing about personality trait, it is more about your personal being. But when we are talking about mental abilities, it is about cognitive. Personality trait, it is more on the affective. So in learning, I always remind students we have 3 domains. We have affective, we have cognitive, and also we have psychomotor. So if we are discussing about aptitude, it is about mental ability, meaning that the cognitive level, and also the personality trait, also known as affective. Okay. And then so during the recruitment and the selection of policies, these are the things that the management will look at. Second one, personal characteristic. In personal characteristic, it is also related with the recruitment and selection policies. And the personal characteristic is based on the attribute, sorry, it's not attribute, trait based on family background, education, and so on. And also training for and supervision is depending on the skill level. Okay, also the experience each of the salesperson have. And training and supervision is account management policies or role perception. So perception of job demand and the expectation of role partners. So we already learned about this, how to match. What are the things that is needed to ensure that the salesperson is sustained or being able to be in a company for a long time. And then also we have what we call motivation. Previous chapter, we learn about motivation, desire to expend effort on specific job activities in a way that salesperson are actually willing to do more, not just to perform based on what they need to serve the basic requirement. So this one is under compensation and reward system. And also in terms of organization and environmental factors, so sale potential and sale trajectory, salesperson autonomy, company competitive strength, and so forth. So in sale force organization trajectory design and marketing program should also discuss or look into the organizational and environmental environment. So these are the variables that cause different performance across individual salesperson and the action the management can take to influence them. So all of these actually are things that come from the environment, that come from the salesperson, and this is how the management can do in order to ensure that they are able to make some differences or to tune or to ensure that all salesperson can perform at their best. Okay, this is a cause of inappropriate selection standard because even though people will go through like the series of process in order to employ any salesperson, but there are some reason or some possibility that the candidate actually is not a suitable candidate for the organization. It can happen too, even though we are really careful at the selection process. So people lacking the appropriate personal trait and ability are more likely to become frustrated and quick or to be fired before training and experience can turn them into productive employee. So meaning to say that when people who don't have the quality, personal, the qualities and ability, most of the time they will get frustrated and quit. So last chapter we discussed about plateau salesperson employee, meaning that they withdraw or drop out from the system. And companies are not always successful in identifying and hiring people with the necessary personal characteristic and ability to success. This is very true. Even though sometimes we can see that some people perform really well during interviews, but actually when doing the actual job, they are not that good. Okay, mistake in recruitment and selection that lead to high early turnover rate and can be very costly. This is very true, especially when you started to hire and then send them for training and so on. It also involve cost, and then after a few months they drop. So it's very, very costly. And mistake in recruitment and selection can be costly in short term and lead to lower productivity in the long term. So this can happen when the salesperson, sale managers, for example, a person who involved in recruitment and selection don't hit or don't really get the right candidate because the candidate probably performing well during the interviews, but actually they are not really a good employee. Don't have sufficient, what we call sufficient, auzubillah, apa kita panggil? Sufficient ability. Okay, sufficient ability to handle the job. Okay, this is a characteristic of successful salesperson. So the sales manager look for a person or salesperson with that has enthusiasm, intense and eager enjoyment, most of the time, this kind of salesperson, you can see that they are so happy all the time, they are motivated all the time, and they're so happy with what they're doing. It's not easy to find this kind of salesperson. Even though they're not happy, even though they're stressed, they still can give a good smile, they still can, yeah, this is a job, things like that. It is not easy. Okay, not only in salesperson, any job actually, it's very difficult to find someone with enthusiasm and then with good organizational abilities. Meaning to say that as a salesperson, especially nowadays, you need to be very organized and you need to be very savvy at the technology that you can use to handle the your daily works. It's very difficult if you are not able to find the information at your fingertip. It's very difficult. So knowledge is one thing. How do you arrange everything related to your job is another thing. So these are another thing that salesperson need to have this characteristic. Ambition. Ambition meaning that they can look further in the future what they wanted to be. Those who are ambitious normally will be motivated. Uh, because they always think about what next, what to do next, what to do next. If it is not happening, how should we divert? Should we do it in another way? So those who are ambitious normally can also have a also considered as high motivated employee, and most of the time they always know what need to be done. Even though probably other people already like surrender and do not want to do things that they feel kind of difficult, very difficult to achieve and so on. And the attribute of persuasiveness. Persuasiveness is very important in the among salesperson because this is how you persuade another people to purchase what you want, to make people believe of what you believe. It is not easy. And then communication skill. Communication skill is about, some people say, okay, you must have a good communication skill when you become a salesperson. Become a salesperson in my definition, this is in my definition. This is about how do you manage. I always, because after 3 years, I think last time, I started to have my own mentee. I become a mentor and I have few salesperson under me. So how I define the communication skill to my mentee, I told them that whenever you meet your customer, you always need to communicate at the same frequency. In the same frequency, meaning that you are not supposed to deliver or to give what do you want to give based on what you know at your level. Meaning to say that whenever you wanted to communicate with your customer, you need to be alert. What is their level of understanding and how they communicate? Even though some people may say that, yeah, it's so hypocrite because I have to be me. No, this is job. This is communication skill you have to master. In whatever job you are having, even though you are handling you as a student, if after this you're going out and you will have your own job, or probably also among your friend dealing with your peers, your friends, your colleague later on, your lecturers now, even your sibling, your families and so on. Communication it always a matter in a way that you have to learn how to make communicate with another people at the same frequency. You are supposed to learn how to communicate in their language. In their language, meaning to say that if you are expressing your idea to 5-year-old boys and you are expressing the same idea to 15-year-old boys and 50-year-old men, 50, it's very different even though the message is the same. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's why in psychology, some motivators will say that, when we are going to express our empathy, real expressing our empathy, we have to talk the same language as the people we are communicating with. Even though we are so eager to deliver of what we know, what we want them to hear, but we are supposed to deliver it at the level they can accept. Otherwise, the empathy will not work, because when we start to push to give the message at the level where your opponent, your someone you wanted to communicate don't understand, it will make them shut their mind and they shut down their heart to understand what you are saying. And whatever you say becoming an alien to them. And if that happens, basically the message will not deliver. So this is a communication skill, important as a salesperson and also important as we, as the individual, in whatever level, whatever situation we wanted to communicate with. Okay, last one is instructive. Instructive is about useful and informative information. So not only that you have a very good communication skill, salesperson also must have a useful and informative. Meaning to say that whenever we are communicating with our customer, the salesperson communicating with the customer, we have to make sure that we have a real information, the right information to be delivered in a way that they can understand. And at the same time, whatever we are giving actually is ethical. When I say ethical, meaning to say that it is not something that will be win at one part only, one parties only. For example, like you are overquote or you give a solution with over requirement because you wanted to fulfill your quota. That is not right. Okay, so whatever you are selling, whatever you are supposed to do during negotiation, especially, so this instructive information is very, very important. Okay, research concerning the personal characteristic of successful salesperson. Number of variables are related to salesperson, psychological trait and abilities. These are the focus of the research. The exhibit after this will define 7 subcategory of personality trait, 5 group of other enduring aptitude factors or mental ability, and 5 group of skill. So if we look at this, we have one is personality trait, second one is mental ability, last one is skill. Like I gave to all of you before, okay, about the when you wanted to go out for intern, I focus on these 3 things, right? Cognitive. Second one is what? One is cognitive. Second one is anyone? Apa lagi? Semua masuk tak 5 intern kan? Yang mana semester 5? Buat Azuz.
Kognitif,
Kognitif
psikomotor,
1, psikomotor. And
affektif.
affective. Betul. Jadi kalau if we look at here, dia ada sub category of personality trait, and then it has mental abilities and also it has skill. Skill is psychomotor, mental ability is cognitive, personality trait is affective. How can you say that whatever you learn in the university and whatever you learn in school, you don't apply it in your work? Actually, you apply. Probably it's not like applying one-to-one of what you have learned. But each of the content that you have learned will consist of cognitive, which is the affective domain. You also have mental abilities that refers to the cognitive domain. And also you have skills that refers to the psychomotor domain. So all should be complete. Okay, note that aptitude, personality, and skill variable must be measured explicitly during the selection process using formal score test and assessment technique. One, it says that explicitly, meaning the test should be measured. For example, like it should be interviewed and given the score, or it should be an exam test that at the end you will have the score. That's what it called the explicit. So whatever that is intrinsic, meaning that in their mind, we cannot trace. That's why there are some problem in terms of selection and in recruitment, in which some situation where the management are not able to identify some weaknesses to say that this particular person is not suitable for certain job. Okay, so those are the intrinsic meaning that something that is in their mind, in their whatever they are thinking, whatever their personality is, whatever skill that is hidden, we cannot find it or trace it through the assessment test. Okay, so these are some of the findings. Summary of effect variable on say person performance. We can see that demographic less than 5%, less than 5%, but we can see, for example, like background experience, development, education, and work experience. Almost 21% contribute by personal history and family background. What does it mean? It shows that your personal history will develop you yourself. Your personality developed by your personal history. Some people we can see that very tough. You even though you see like, yeah, they're so cute, they're so soft, things like that. But the inner side, they are very tough. They can handle stress. There are not many people who can handle stress and able to work till the last minute and still be success. Not many people can do that. But there are some people who are really talented in a way that they are able to do that. So you just imagine other thing is just more than less of 5%. Okay, another thing is that current status and lifestyle, and the higher contribution is the family and marital status. The reason why this is happen because if someone have, for example, have what you call responsibility, tanggungjawab, married and has responsibility to take care of their family. Therefore, they will work more. These become the success factors. Even though they're not happy with the job, they still have to work very hard because they need to support their family. Okay? Because they need to support their family, they need to have the dependents. And age of dependence is not only talking about spouse and kids. Age of dependent probably also include the disabled kids, the disabled family members, and also including the oldies. Okay, the parents, grandparents, and so on. Okay, other than that, is the financial status only 6%, not so much. So we can see how actually this kind of information give a huge impact on the say person performance based on studies. Okay, and also we can see here cognitive ability, the ability for you to think. Other than that, it's just like 5%, 5%, and the rest actually you can find it in the textbook. Okay, general management. General management is about the ability to organize things. Okay, this is a general management skill related to organizing, directing, leading, and other people. So most of the time, as a salesperson, if they are not the leader, the team leader, normally the management skill is not so much needed, except for they need to know how to manage themselves. That's why in terms of the contribution, how much it affects is not so much. Okay, this is the last piece of the chapter. Job specific determinant of good sales performance. So, selling different types of product and service. Overall, the following variable have been shown to be relevant across different kind of selling environment. So these are the things that like when we are discussing based on the previous slides. Okay, these are the variable that shows that give lot of impact to the sale performance. Okay, however, it probably different based on product and services. Okay, for the personality, history, and family background, we can see that if this particular salesperson been placed uh, at the right trajectory, at the right target market, they can perform. Otherwise, they are not able to perform. For example, if you are talking about salesperson who are selling books and salesperson who are selling religious kitab. If salesperson who are selling religious kitab come from religious family, it's very easy for them to do that. Even though we are talking about personal history now. And those who don't have um, religious history and selling like religious kitab, Muslim kitab, it probably some difficulties. So even though we can say that personal history and family background, it exists somewhat in general, but we also need to see either it is suitable for certain product or certain services. Same thing with marital and family status. If someone who are not married selling a product for family, normally it doesn't really work. Okay. Same thing with sales aptitude. Sales aptitude, we are talking about personal trait and also cognitive level. Right? Before this, we are talking about the aptitude. It always about combination of mental ability and also personality trait. Okay. So for sales aptitude, also the same. Meaning to say that whenever we wanted to put the right salesperson, it has to be matched also with the salesperson itself. Same thing with dominance. There are certain product dominant by male or dominant by female. If you send different genders, it doesn't work. Same thing with self-esteem. Self-esteem meaning to say that there are certain product actually is require high self-esteem for you to sell. Especially if you are talking about selling a very high-end or valuable product. You cannot just give a simple salesperson to sell diamond. No. You cannot send the normal sale automobile who sell Proton to sell Ferrari, for example. Same thing like sale presentation skill, different varies between product and services. And last one is interpersonal skill, also the same way. Depending on the target market, the segmentation, who are your customer. So the sales manager must really know how to put their salesperson at the right place, at the right priorities, at the right target market, at the right segment. Okay. So this is a different type of sales job based on sales personnel and also the characteristic. We have what we call closer, does not have sign of fear or personal rejection, thrive in sales environment that requires a person to quickly establish a prospect emotional desire and need for their product. So if the type of product, okay, if the type of product require fast decision, or you need to think fast, you need to send someone who has this closer perspective, meaning that when they see the opportunities, they're able to directly catch to catch the opportunities to sell. Consultant. Consultant, the characteristic identify as patient with excellent interpersonal contact and certain amount of aggressiveness, typically more career-oriented and academically inclined, able to handle personal rejection and fear of failure. They exhibit self-confidence, patience, and ability to quickly develop interpersonal relationship with all business prospects. Consultant normally requires mental ability. And normally they are selling some product that requires certain level of education or certain level of knowledge before the customer will make decision. So consultant normally they can handle the personal rejection very well because the consultants themselves must be at least, or we can say that equally educated and have almost equal knowledge with the customer. Therefore, if for example the customer don't want or reject to purchase, they should understand why. Okay. And also we have what I call the relationship builder. Salesperson like independent and freedom of sale, the feeling that they are own their boss and they exercise discipline and take responsibility for their action. Normally, when we are having this relationship builder in my company last time, we call them as the account manager. Account manager, their job actually is to find out the new customer and starting to develop new customer, starting to get new sale, and then after that more sale and more sale, and they will started to have a very good relationship with customer who before this is not a customer of the company. So this relationship builder normally are the seniors, normally senior salesperson. Okay. And like us in our company last time, this relationship builder, even though it's like, oh, they just getting a new customer, but most of the time they can also secure a very good job, okay, with high income. And also the order taker require little personal involvement, relatively little risk of personal rejection. Order taker meaning that sometimes there are some of the customer requests, especially when you are a big account, or probably it's like that. Okay, some company or your customer already tired of certain of their supplier and they are looking for new supplier. Sometimes they come to you, can you give me this, can you supply me this, or can you give me some solution for this situation. For normally this order taker, yang ni memang very difficult to get, but once in a while you probably have. Okay, once in a while you probably have. Sometimes the amount is big, sometimes the amount is small, depending on who your customer is. So basically, these are the type of sales job that a sales personnel may have. Okay, and these are the characteristic that normally the sales personnel have to handle the customer. So that's it for chapter 7. I think we shall take a break for a while, like 10 minutes, and we come back for second for chapter 8, inshallah. So I will stop recording and I will see you again in 10 minutes.